Welcome to Whispering Cabins, where we share cozy horror tales of ghosts, folklore, and forgotten places. So grab a blanket, light a candle, and settle in. The night is waiting. Tonight, we tell the story of the dreams in Willow House. The house on Willow Street had been standing for nearly a century, its wide porch wrapping around the front like a welcoming arm. When Claire and her husband Daniel first saw it, they both laughed at how the old wooden floors creaked with every step, and how the stair banister leaned ever so slightly to the left, as if the house itself were tired. But Claire felt something when she crossed the threshold, a sense of warmth, of waiting. She told herself it was the comfort of history. By the time they moved in, the house was full of life again. Their daughter Lily claimed the bedroom at the top of the stairs with its slanted ceiling and tiny window seat. Evan, younger and mischievous, ran through the upstairs hallway, shouting that his footsteps echoed like a drum. The family filled the house with the sounds of boxes being opened, furniture dragged into place, and laughter echoing up the stairwell. For the first few weeks, life felt perfectly ordinary. Claire rose early each morning to make coffee, often pausing in the parlor, where the early light fell through the tall windows. The house smelled faintly of old wood and lavender, the previous owner's lingering touch, perhaps. She loved the way the walls seemed to sigh with every breeze, as though exhaling long-held stories. Then came the dreams. The first was gentle. Claire dreamed she was standing in the parlor, but it wasn't hers. The wallpaper was brighter, patterned in roses. The furniture was heavier, a little too ornate. A family of 4 sat together. A man in a dark suit, a woman with her hair pinned neatly, and 2 teenage daughters in matching dresses. They laughed over something Claire couldn't hear. She woke with the sound of that laughter still ringing faintly in her ears. She thought nothing of it until the dreams returned. The second time, the family sat in the same room, but their smiles were tighter, brittle. The father's voice boomed, though the words were lost in the dream's muffled haze. The mother's smile cracked. One of the daughters lowered her gaze to her lap, her hands twisting together nervously. Claire woke with her heart pounding, a feeling of unease spreading through her chest. Night after night, the story continued. The dreams always began in the parlor, as though that room were a stage and she an unwilling spectator. She saw the father pacing, his face lined with frustration. The mother weeping quietly at the kitchen table, clutching a letter. The daughters whispering in their shared bedroom, fear flickering in their eyes. Each dream was clearer than the last, as though the house itself wanted her to know what had happened there. During the day, Claire carried the images with her like invisible baggage. She found herself lingering over small details of the house, the way the parlor rug never lay quite flat in one corner, as though it were hiding something beneath. The faint, almost imperceptible stain on the wood floor that no amount of polishing could lift. The way the upstairs hallway had one floorboard that felt strangely hollow when she walked across it. Daniel teased her gently when she brought it up. "You're letting the age of the place get into your head," he said. "That's what happens with old houses. They creak, they whisper. Doesn't mean anything sinister." He kissed her cheek, but she noticed he avoided walking across that hollow floorboard. The dreams grew more insistent. One night, she dreamed of a storm battering against the windows. The father's voice rose in fury. The mother stood trembling, clutching her daughters as though to shield them. A flash of metal in the daughter's hand, a kitchen knife, its blade catching the parlor's dim light. There was a struggle. The father lunged. The daughter screamed. Everything went black. Claire woke, drenched in sweat, her breath ragged. She pressed her palms to her chest and realized she could still feel the echo of the knife's cold handle, though she hadn't been the one to hold it. Over the following nights, the dream filled in its missing pieces. She saw the father collapse against the parlor rug, his blood seeping into the floorboards. The daughters frantically whispering, their hands stained as they tried to clean what could not be erased. The mother staring blankly at the door as though expecting someone, a neighbor, the police, anyone, to appear. But no one came. The family's secret remained sealed within the house. Claire found herself unable to resist investigating. On a rainy afternoon, while the children were at school and Daniel at work, she pulled back the parlor rug. The faint stain matched her dream perfectly. Her hands shook as she pressed against the floorboards, and when she found one that gave more than the rest, she froze. After a long moment, she pried it up. Inside lay a bundle of papers tied with an old strip of cloth. She lifted them carefully, her heart thundering. The bundle held photographs, sepia-toned, stiffly posed images of the family she had seen in her dreams. Beneath the photographs were letters, brittle with age. One was a diary page in delicate handwriting. "If he raises his voice again, I fear for us. The girls can't sleep another." Written in a hurried script. It wasn't her fault. We only wanted to stop him. Claire sat back, the storm outside rattling the windows. The house groaned, but it was different now, almost like relief, as if it had been holding its breath for decades, waiting for someone to uncover its secret. That night, for the first time in weeks, Claire slept without fear. She dreamed again of the parlor, but now the family stood together, their faces softer, their tension gone. They looked at her with gratitude before fading into the wallpaper. In the morning, she told Daniel she wanted to keep the house just as it was, creaks, quirks, and all. He laughed, a little puzzled by her sudden certainty, but didn't argue. Still, Claire sometimes felt eyes on her in the parlor, not watching with menace, but with a quiet kind of presence. On stormy nights, when rain tapped against the glass and Lily's and Evan's laughter floated from upstairs, she would pause in the hallway and listen. Beneath her children's voices, she swore she could hear faint echoes of another family's laughter, overlapping gently, as if layered into the very bones of the house. Not haunting, not frightening, just remembering. Thank you for joining us tonight at Whispering Cabins, where we tell cozy horror tales. If you enjoyed The Dreams in Willow House, be sure to subscribe for more eerie stories. Until next time, keep warm, keep the lantern lit, and listen closely. Sometimes the shadows have stories to tell.